This is not just a forest shelter build, this is survival engineering in real time. From choosing the ground to sealing the roof, every move has a purpose. Watch the full video to see how raw nature becomes a safe shelter. We open deep in the forest. The builder first reads the terrain before touching a single branch. That quick survey matters. A good shelter starts with drainage, wind direction, and safe working space. Now he selects a slightly raised patch of ground. Higher ground reduces water pooling and keeps the sleeping area drier at night. Notice how he avoids unnecessary damage. Using what is already available is smarter, and it respects the forest too. The first clearing work begins. He removes loose debris, roots, and small obstacles to create a stable footprint. This step looks simple, but it is structural preparation. A level base makes every pole, wall, and roof line easier to control later. Now he starts collecting straight saplings. Straight members carry load more predictably and save time during frame assembly. See the selection process here. He is already thinking like an engineer, not just like a cutter. The longer poles will likely serve as ridge or side supports. Length and diameter are matched to function, which is a strong survival habit. He trims side branches cleanly. That reduces snag points and helps the frame sit tighter with less wobble. Now the work shifts from gathering to shaping. Every cut is preparing material for joinery, leverage, or ground anchoring. These sharpened ends are important. Pointed stakes enter the soil faster and lock the structure more securely. He keeps the points narrow but not fragile. Too thin and the wood splits. Too blunt and installation becomes inefficient. The layout starts to appear now. He is marking where the shelter will stand, checking width, length, and access. This is one of those quiet, expert moments. A few careful placements here prevent a lot of correction later. Next comes the digging and post setting. These ground contact points transfer the load from the frame into the soil. Depth matters. Shallow posts shift under weight, but deeper seating improves stability and wind resistance. You can already imagine the final shape, right? The skeleton of the shelter is being defined piece by piece. Now the upright position. He checks alignment by eye, using symmetry and spacing as natural reference points. That takes skill. In the wild, there is no laser level, just experience, balance, and a very patient pair of hands. Cross members are added to connect the posts. This ties the frame together and reduces independent movement between supports. A connected frame is always stronger than isolated parts. That is basic structure science, and it works beautifully out here. Now he begins tightening the geometry. Each horizontal piece helps define wall height, roof pitch, and usable interior volume. This is where rough timber starts behaving like a real build. Primitive materials, yes, but the logic is surprisingly advanced. More braces go in. Bracing controls racking, which means the shelter resists twisting under wind or uneven load. Without bracing, even a good frame can lean. With bracing, the whole structure acts as one unit. Now he gathers thinner sticks for infill work. These lighter pieces are ideal for weaving walls and supporting natural plaster. Nothing is wasted here. Smaller wood that looks unimportant often becomes the key to insulation and coverage. The wall weaving begins. Interlocking flexible branches creates a mesh that holds shape and catches filler material. This woven layer improves more than appearance. It adds surface area, stiffness, and a grip for mud or clay. Watch the rhythm of the hands here. Fast, controlled, efficient. This is experience doing most of the talking. The sidewalls are gradually closing. That helps reduce wind penetration and makes the interior easier to warm. Now he collects soil, clay, or damp earth for sealing. A dense earthen layer can block drafts and improve thermal retention. Texture matters here. Material that binds well will stay on the wall instead of cracking away too quickly. He presses the mixture into the woven frame. The wall is now shifting from open lattice to protective barrier. This coating also fills gaps where insects, cold air, and moisture would otherwise enter. Small detail, big survival value. A little mud trust a flat jungle roof? Probably not. Water always wins if the angle is wrong. Now come leaves, fronds, or broad natural cover. These materials act as the first weather-shedding layer. He overlaps them carefully. That shingle pattern directs water downward instead of letting it slip inside. Layering is everything here. One thin layer looks nice. Several layers create real rain protection. The roof thickens and the shelter starts to feel complete. This is where the build changes from frame to refuge. He also keeps the profile compact. A lower, tighter shelter is often easier to heat and harder for wind to catch. Now we see more detail work around the entrance. Openings need access, but they also need control over airflow and splashing. That edge treatment matters. A clean doorway reduces loose material and makes daily use much more practical. He tidies the surrounding ground as well. Site maintenance improves movement, drainage, and overall safety around the shelter. This is a good reminder for viewers. Build with nature, not against it, and leave as little unnecessary impact as possible. Now he strengthens weak points and closes remaining gaps. Final sealing is what turns a good idea into a reliable overnight space. You can tell the maker knows exactly what each section needs. That level of judgment is what separates hard work from skilled work. The interior floor receives attention next. A cleaner, flatter base improves comfort and keeps gear off damp ground. Sometimes the simplest upgrade changes everything. Even a basic raised or padded sleeping zone can preserve body heat dramatically. Now the shelter gets its final visual check. He looks for leaks, loose members, weak joints, and areas that need more cover. That review step is smart. In survival work, inspection is just as important as construction. And here comes the rewarding part. What started as scattered natural material is now a functioning protective structure. The walls hold, the roof sheds water, and the space can trap warmth better. That is real field efficiency, built by hand.